Alright people, so welcome back to another video in our Mitre-Attack series. So today we are going to continue with the remote services, and one of the sub-techniques there is remote desktop protocol, and we are going to take a look at that today. So let's move on to the first slide. So here you see we are still in lateral movement. The tactic platform is Windows, so the remote desktop protocol is just Windows specific. It is relevant because it's a typical admin tool, and hackers love to use admin tools since those are powerful. You can use it to configure a Windows machine remotely. Hackers want to stay remotely, so that's what it is all about. We see we have a contributor here, Matthew Demansk from Adapt Forward. It has been updated recently, so yeah, fine. Let's read and see what we can learn today. So adversaries may use valid accounts to log into computers using the remote desktop protocol RDP. The adversary may then perform actions as the logged on user. Yes, so again, they need a valid account for that to work. That's the first step. But since we are already in lateral movement in the kill chain or in the adversary life cycle, you can see they obtained some way of logging in already. So they have a valid account already at that point. Okay, and then remote desktop is a common feature in operating systems. It allows a user to log into an interactive session with a system desktop graphical user interface on a remote system. Yes, and then Microsoft refers to its implementation of the Remote Desktop Protocol as Remote Desktop Services, RDS. Yeah, it's the same thing. And then adversaries may connect a remote system over RDP RDS to expand access if the service is enabled and allows access to accounts with known credentials. Adversaries will likely use credential access techniques to acquire credentials to use of RDP. Adversaries may also use RDP in conjunction with the accessible features or terminal services (TLL) for persistence. Yeah, so there's not much to add to that. So just be aware that RDP is one of those critical services that you might want to closely monitor. Attackers will target this. Let's move on to the procedure examples now. So here we simply see some of the groups, and you have campaigns as well. Do we have a software here? No software here, but you see Akira is the ransomware group. So they use RDP for lateral movement. APT1, it's from China, I think, is known to have used RDP. What else do you have? All the APTs, Axiom group, popular as well. Yeah, nearest neighbor campaign, we have seen that too. So the takeaway here, it is relevant. It has been used in the past and it will be used again. Then we have here the mitigations. So mitigations, they say, do some auditing, audit the remote desktop user group membership regularly, remove unnecessary accounts and groups from remote desktop user groups. So yeah, only certain groups can use that tool, should be admins, and admins is only a small user group. Okay, and then disable RDP service if it is unnecessary. Well, disable it on critical machines. Okay, so you can use RDP as a convenience feature. You don't want your administrator always to having to drive to the server and do it there, but for critical systems, make sure that RDP is not even enabled. If you're responsible for a bank, let's say banking, everything that has something to do with payment transactions and the service related to that, well, they shouldn't have RDP enabled. Then they say use remote desktop gateways. Well, we call this a jump host. Okay, so you cannot connect via RDP from anywhere, you need to use a specific jump host to do that. This is what they mean. This is one way to limit access over the network. Adversaries don't know what is the jump host unless they are very deep into your system and they have network plans obtained and everything, but usually they won't have that information, and any attempt to connect via RDP to a critical system, well, can be considered then a fraudulent activity, and this can be investigated. Then you have, of course, multi-factor authentication. Yes, so they need a valid account. We have seen that. So with MFA, you can raise the difficulty of obtaining such a valid account. Then you have network segmentation. Do not leave RDP accessible from the internet. Enable firewall rules to block RDP traffic between network security zones within a network. So yeah, if you want to use RDP, you gotta be in the same network zone. That's one way to do it. Operating system configurations, okay. Change GPOs is group policy organization or something like this. So that's GPO means just a group policy to define shorter timeout sessions and maximum amount of time any single session can be active. Change GPOs to specify the maximum amount of time that a disconnected session stay active on a RD session host server. That's very specific with the GPOs here. Yes, of course, it's Windows specific. You can change these group policies to make it more difficult. But just keep in mind this session, this setting here, with the timeouts and everything, it will be a massive inconvenience for your administrators. Keep that in mind. And inconveniences for your administrators, well, usually leads to other security issues. Then you have privileged account management. Yes, consider removing the local administrators group from the list of groups allowed to log in through RDP. Local administrators, why? Because this is the stuff that gets compromised first usually. So hackers get local admin rights. It's more difficult to get admin rights on the Active Directory level. That's more difficult. And then you have limit remote user permissions if remote access is necessary. Yes. So take this with you as a homework list and just see how much of that do you already have in your company. Or if you have a service security provider, give them that list and they shall show you that they have all of that implemented. If they claim that they work with Mitre-Attack, so you will see that Mitre stamp everywhere these days. Well, how many of them do a clean implementation of Mitre? From what I've seen, not so many. So let's follow up with detection strategies. So here you have multi-event detection strategy for RDP-based remote logins and post-access activity. So they say remote desktop logon by user followed by unusual process execution. So keep that in mind. This unusual stuff is always what you want to find when it comes to security operations and detection. And then file access, lateral movement activity, and within a short time frame. Yes, difficult to catch, but on the other hand, if you know that you're looking specifically for RDP, then you can indeed look for such a chain of events. And difficult is always unusual process. What is an unusual process? Well, you got to figure that out. Establish a baseline, and then it's easier to figure this out. Yeah, so far so good. Last step is the references. So I copied here multiple parts. So as you can see, we have 85 in total. So we have here this block, then the smaller block here, and the smaller block here. I just copied a little bit together here. Well, let's see what we have. So we have Microsoft explaining RDP from 2016. Nutland, this is again a name that I've read. So Akira ransomware uses that. FireEye Labs we have here, okay. Cyber Reason is also part of this. Threat Alert Inc. ransomware. Team Huntress, so Sock Raider, a lot of names that I've seen in the past. Mendient, so this RDP topic is well covered, as you can see. And you have the US CERT, FireEye, again FireEye, McAfee, yeah, and Microsoft in the end, timeout configuration settings. So what is Sock Raider? Dark web profile, ink ransom from 2024. This ink ransomware, it appears to be something. So let's mark this for future, and we might get back to it. This. So this is the stuff that catched my eye here. But yeah, this is so far so good, I would say. So we have now an understanding what the remote desktop protocol is all about. Also, we know where to locate it in the kill chain. Some procedure examples, very relevant, some names of the hacker groups. A lot of mitigations take this as a homework. Detection strategy is straightforward, but not easy to execute. Yeah, and some common names here that we have as well. So I think this is a all right overview. As usual, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time in cybersecurity. It is time well spent. And in the next video, we will continue with the 002 sub-technique. See you next time. Let's finish this off with some music. Goodbye.